Hey everybody, time for a quick update. I'm Rick, and this shut the heck up, you stinking roosters. Now that for your sanity. This is the shack. Hello and welcome. Hey, if you're new to the channel, first time stopping by, thank you so much for taking some of your time out to view. Always ask that you would consider subscribing if you do, or ring the ding that bell down there so you are notified when the videos do come out. Well, this is just kind of an update. I haven't put out a video in over a month. I've been extremely busy, and this video is kind of going over what I've been doing, what's going on, and I'm going to try, Lord help me, I got to get some things built before Christmas, and I like to get a couple of small projects out that you can do for Christmas, but it all depends on how fast I can get this house done. A lot of times mechanics, carpenters, people who work on other people's stuff all the time, a lot of times their stuff suffers. Case point, me. As you know, I've been serving since I left April 3rd, I think it was, to go to Texas. April to August. I was basically gone serving. So in those 5 months, I was only home maybe 2 months. Went to Texas, of course, for almost 7 weeks. Came back. I got a list I don't have with me, but basically I've been to Texas, I've been to Mexico a couple of times, I went to Washington State, went to Vegas for a week, went to Japan for 2 weeks. So I was busy traveling and serving and only being home, I think the most was maybe a couple of weeks before I took off again. A couple of times it was literally 4 days, 3 days, 6 days, and I was gone. So plus, you know, if you follow me, I was getting stuff ready for my brother-in-law to move in, so that took time. Got that set up, you know, ran electrical in my shop so I could have 2 outlets. I put one on either side of the shop for a 30-amp plug for the motorhome. Also ran a water line out there. I did have a water line when I first moved here, but about 3 or 4 years ago, probably 40 years ago, we had a tree fall over, and come to find out one of my water lines was leaking, and it was underneath the concrete. I can't tear it all apart to get to it, so thankfully I have a valve here on my spigot. I turned the water off, so that shut the water off to everything out to my shop, and I think I had a water spigot along the fence where all the oleanders were, and that was all shut off, so I had no water out there. So this was kind of like a good thing to happen, because it prompted me to actually run another line out there. So I got another line run out there, and instead of having one spigot out there and one over on the fence, I have 3 around the shop now with a line ready to run out over to the oleanders, and I can actually tear those out and, you know, get some type of a nice hedge or something. After I got from Japan in August, I decided I'm done. I gotta focus on me. I gotta get my house in order, because if I can get my house in order, I can serve even more. And my heart is to serve and do these things. And there's something in my heart I really, really want to do, but I'm not going to say nothing yet, because a lot of times you say something, then you don't follow through with it. People are kind of baggy about it. So it's on my heart, but I have to get my house in order, and I have to get my truck running. 2 big things. And that's another thing. If you follow me, I finally got the rear end mounted in my truck, but I had to put it on hold again, because this is what I'm working on now. So I'm going to kind of go through what I'm working on and just talk a little bit, and that's going to be it. I do have 2 videos I'm trying to get out, even though I probably got 3 or 4 hours of videos I've made working on this house. I just don't know if I'm going to put them out, because a lot of times a lot of it is just me working, and there's no talking, and I just don't have the time to sit down and voice over it's really hard because people in the house, I have to wait till everybody goes to bed, and then it just takes up time and I'm up late. And that's another thing why I haven't put out a video. I'm just burned out. I consider just shutting the channel down because I have to get a lot of stuff done. But I figured I'm just going to put it on hold a little bit. I'll get this video out, and I get a couple of I'll get one tool review, and actually I want to get a review of the tripod that this camera's sitting on, and another one I bought because when I was in Japan, I had a tripod that really wasn't travel friendly, and unfortunately, jumping all the trains, getting back to Tokyo so we could fly home, I left it somewhere. So it's travel around Japan on the train somewhere. I don't know. I left it. So that kind of bummed me out. So I had to spend more money to buy another one. And I was looking at more travel-friendly ones to take with my travel, more compact. And I got this one. And I've actually been using this one. I haven't even touched the other one. But I'm going to do a comparison and a video on that, because if you're doing YouTube or vlogging, this is a really compact, lightweight, good, economical tripod. And I really like it. So that's coming out. But back to my house. This is what's been going on. That's what I've been doing. So I'm going to walk you around real quick, kind of talk, and let you see what's going on. Now, one of the main issues why I'm doing what I'm doing is the front and back, even this rear side. As you see, there's no eave. So all that back there, as you can see, is all agricultural. So when let me just say that 90% of the time when we get wind, it's blowing from the back that way, which is a west wind, blowing from the desert and the mountains to the coast. And my back faces east, my front faces west. So 90% of the time when the wind blows, we're getting all the dirt from all the open field, because they don't have anything planted. A lot of times they don't when we have winds. It's like a sandblasting effect going to the back. And if you can imagine, the wind blowing and the rain when it rains and the wind's blowing, doesn't have much, and it goes in behind that and gets down in behind here. So a lot of the times, if you can see down here, right down there's a little bow. A lot of this buckles. I've already replaced this front a couple times. I'm just tired of the wood. So I decided I'm tearing this all off. I'm going to go into the back and show you, but this is why I'm doing it. And we've had problems with termites. Now, as you see, this is what I've been running into, and this is a 2x6. It's part of the floor joist, but this is the bottom framing around this house. And as you see, this is rotted in. All this, you see all that coming out of here? That's all termite. So I've been running into a lot of this all the way around the house. The back of the house actually took me almost 2 weeks to complete, because I had a lot of termite damage and water rot. So what I have to do, I have to cut this, get all these nails out. Okay, that just comes right out. And I have new 2x6s I'm putting in, securing it, just updating all these damaged 2x6s on the bottom. Then if any of these are damaged, any of the studding, I have to redo all that. So that's what I've been running into. So again, on the back, what I've done, I've taken all that siding off just like this, repaired all the damage, which was all down here. This whole window here I had to reframe in, and it was I'll show you over here, it was a 12 by 48, real wide. I picked these off the shelf because I wanted to do a little more updated versions. They're $100 a piece, they're just cheap windows you get at Home Depot, those whatever, off the shelf. Reframed this section in, and the inside I had to redo the drywall. So as I went down, I fixed each thing that was damaged. So this memory complete, and as you see, I put paper up there, I'm putting flashing on, and then when I cover this, I'm going up there, it's going to eat that. And up here, I'm going to make out of 2x4s. I was thinking 2x6s, but I don't need to make anything really crazy. It is going to be a false eave, strictly for aesthetics. And I'll make a video on making that, because again, it's strictly aesthetics. You can't walk to the edge, you'll break it and fall through. But it's going to keep the rain and make it go out 16 inches more, then drop down, and I can actually attach a gutter to it so it'll run in there and run off, so it'll keep the water, and when the wind blows, it'll help it keep it from getting up there all this extra I'm putting around it will do good. The window had the paper around it, taped around it, put that in. I don't know if you can see it up there, I got flashing on that up there. So I said I'm going 8, 9, 10 times above and beyond what I should do. I'm just making sure. Now this is my laundry room door. That 2x6 was completely destroyed underneath here. The double 2x4s going down here weren't even attached to it. They were completely rotted and termite damage ate through. They were completely gone. So I had to replace, I actually had to take the door out and reframe this whole door. I left the header, put the studs, support stud, cripple studs all up there, reframed this in. Took some of the insulation out. It was damaged from water, had a little mold, some whatever. Took that out, and then I hung this door in, put the OSB board on. You see up there, OSB, and then I'm wrapping it. And that's my last thing I could do is wrap that top part. I got the wrapping on. And then, because I had to take this door out, and because of all that dirt back there, when the wind blows, we had almost 5 days of wind. So I actually sat in the house. I just couldn't do anything. So I had to wait for the wind to stop so I could take this door off. Spent a day framing it in, putting it in and covering it up. Took all the siding off to the French doors. We started getting wind again. I sat for 2 more days until I could take this garden window out, the one he had in it. Imagine this all siding. This is the proper height of the window framing. He bought a garden window that was probably 6 inches too long. All he did was mount it to the side of the siding of the house, caulked around it, and called it good. It's like, talk about stinking Mickey Mouse. I'm telling you. So I got this window was the proper size for the window opening. Hung this correctly. I still got to do the drywall inside, but again, I was really surprised. We had issues of termites in the house sometimes at the sink, and believe it or not, when I took it off, other than I almost had to replace this whole bottom 2x6, the only damage up here was the sill of the window. The 2x4 up here on the framing was about the only thing that was damaged. Took that off, put a new 2x4 in, and actually all the studding was fine. Had someone put in the French doors. Got that all framed in, tore it out. So from this hot end over, it was already redone. And then from here, from that end almost to this window here, it was the old window. That's the old window that came out. And that's when I put in a little bit smaller. Instead of 48, it's 36. So I had to reframe that in, put it in, which is fine now. And I had brand new siding and painted it because I just want to see the colors. About that kind of gray is a little bit lighter. And I had all this painted and done. And I decided I don't want it. I'm tired of the wood rotting, having issues, tired of the rain getting in, dust. I decided, heck with it, it's coming off. I'm building an eave, and that'll bring it out 16 inches. I'll tie it into this, and it'll look nice. And this over is already solid. So I had to tear all that out again, reframe this in, put a new one in. There's paper behind it. This put in. I haven't put the flashing on that yet, but you see at the top, I'm putting the paper on, so there's no way for the dirt to get in behind it, to get in behind the OSB. And once I put the eave on there, that'll even tie that in tighter, and it'll just prevent any water, any dust, anything getting behind. It's going to be 100 times better than what it was. And that's what I've been working on. This back thing took me 2 weeks because I had to keep stopping because of weather. I don't have my truck. My brother-in-law's truck broke down. So I had to wait on him to get it fixed. So I ended up actually having Home Depot. It cost me $80, but I can't wait no more. Have them deliver the wood. So this wood there should be enough to finish the rest of the house, at least putting the OSB on. I have a couple 10-foot 2x4s I'm going to use for the framing part of the eave. And those are I think I have like 10 2x4 8-footers up there I can use to cutting down for the extensions for the eaves. So at least that'll bring that roof out 16 inches more, and it's going to be huge, and it'll actually help kind of keep the sun from coming in there. And I forgot to tell you, I tinted the window on the garden window and makes it much better. You can see it kind of reflects a little bit now, more reflective. And I did it for the laundry room door too. Both of them are tinted. I tinted both these doors. So we have, as you can see there, I have these blackout curtains that cover that, so it keeps that. We open it up as soon as the sun gets past the house, it starts going over towards the west. We open this up. In the morning we keep it shut, keeps the house cooler as the sun goes around. That's it in a nutshell what's going on. I'm focusing on my house, working on all of this, getting it done. Again, the backside was completely destroyed for the last 10 years of the wind blowing in. I mean, we got pictures. If I can find them, I'll put them in as I'm talking. Pictures from, it's 135 feet from my house to my shop, and the wind blows so bad, and the dust, it's just, it looks like the sandstorms you see pictures of in Arizona stuff, you know, it's just crazy. I can't even see my shop from the house, that's how bad it gets. So all those years that pounding on this side of the house, not being properly preventive, I guess you want to say, from the elements, it's compromised everything. So all windows been replaced, 2 French doors, the laundry room door has all been replaced, all brand new. I spent, I think, about $5,500. I didn't buy any of that off the shelf. The only thing I bought off the shelf were the bathroom windows. The other stuff I didn't want off the shelf. I wanted a little bit higher grade, but not top grade, so it's like moderately grade. A couple steps above off the shelf, a little bit better. I only plan on staying here a couple more years. When I get the siding or get all this OSB on and wrap it, I have somebody coming over putting the lathing on, and the same guy is going to do the lathing is going to do my stucco. This is what I'm going through, the rot, the repair, time, but in the end it'll be better. It'll be cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, and it'll help protect against the elements even better. All the way around. Oh, and I'm going to actually build a porch on the front of the house. So a lot to do this year. That's my goal. If I can get videos that between that time, I will try. Again, I'm going to try to get a couple videos out for projects for Christmas. I was wanting to do more, but because I'm taking care of myself now and getting my house done, that's my goal. Get this done before the end of the year. That's where my focus is. So the channel will suffer a little bit, but you know, things are getting better. Each year gets a little bit better, and I think 2020 is going to be phenomenal. I'll have the house done, and I can really focus on my shop and really focus on doing projects and stuff, and that's what's going to be cool. This is what it looks like when it's done. I got the siding on, and you see down here, no more rot. That's all been completely removed, and the new 2x6 is put in. And right there's the joint, that's where the new and old meet. Best you can do, but again, it's doubled, so that's good. This is nailed to the one inside. That's what it looks like before and after. Before, when it's all taken out, repaired. After, with the new OSB on, and now the wrapping around the house. That's it. This is it. I'm done. I gotta get to work. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. Back to your shack. For your sanity. See you next video.